Hi there. Just doing a little bit of mandala coloring. You gotta take care of yourself during session. A huge thank you to everyone who joined us for Legislative Advocacy Day on February 2nd. That was last week. I've been hearing nothing but great things from the senators and delegates that you all met with. It's really, really important for us to kind of be a voice in the back of their head as they're making some of these big decisions. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all your work on LAD.
I am pleased to recognize members of the Virginia Sexual and Domestic Violence Action Alliance in our virtual gallery today. Sexual and domestic violence advocates from throughout the Commonwealth are speaking to representatives today about the need to strengthen our responses to survivors, as well as the need to build our capacity to prevent violence before it happens. These advocates provide crucial 24/7 responses to violence, working the front lines to support access to safety, justice, and healing. However, funding for this work is increasingly limited. Now more than ever, it is crucial that we hear from and work with these advocates to build a robust and effective sexual and domestic violence response infrastructure in our communities. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to working with you on these important issues.
Welcome to the Session Scoop. So we are not going to be talking about budget items just yet. We're going to save those for a Session Scoop or two down the line when folks are making bigger decisions about the budget, which typically happens end of February, early March. But we do have a few bills to update you on. So SB 494, that was a bill that you may recall was on our legislative agenda, a big one that we've been working on with the National Women's Law Center, Karen Action. 494 is a Senator McClellan bill that strengthens protections for those who have been impacted by workplace harassment and discrimination. This bill made it out of the Senate. It has been engrossed by the Senate on a party line vote and is on its way over to the House over crossover. So we're really going to have to be loud about why this is important and might have a few action alerts and talk to you more about that bill once we cross over after February 15th. Another big bill that we've been supporting, and I know you all have been talking to your legislators about, HB 671 from Delegate Hope. This is the bill to expand the Hope Card program to all courts around the state. And again, no affiliation between the Hope Card program name and Delegate Hope. He just happened to be interested in it. But this bill has made it through committees, through the committee's House Courts of Justice, which heard it, through appropriations, and it is well poised to cross over and head to the Senate after February 15th. So we're going to have to mobilize our senators to take action and to make sure that it gets out of the Senate and gets to the governor's desk. Another bill, well, really a resolution that we have been following is the repeal of the constitutional amendment that is a outdated and discriminatory prohibition on LGBTQ marriage in Virginia. This is SJ 5 and HJ 57. These are moving along in their respective chambers, and we expect to see them cross over. I don't think it's going to need too much help from us, but really is an issue that, of course, is in connection with LGBTQ survivors and our social justice work, and we care deeply about. So we're going to keep you in the loop about that and let you know if there's any sort of... Another bill that we wanted to tell you about, no action required on this, but SB 270 is a bill from Senator Ghazala Hashmi, our friends and a broad coalition of folks, Virginia Poverty Law Center, and various people are working on this at the state level. This bill would create a language access and equity report and a working group to look at policies and recommendations for how to maximize language access, particularly when it comes to civil and criminal matters in our courts. There's a whole lot contained in this bill. Thankfully, there is a lot of a fiscal impact that was accounted for in the governor's budget. So there are funds in the governor's budget to support this process and this work. And we think it's something that will particularly have impact for immigrant survivors and survivors for whom English is their second language. So again, SB 270, That has passed through the Senate, which Charlie is so excited about, and it should be headed over to the House, which is where we might need some help, and we'll just keep you in the loop on that. Let's cut over to our colleagues Sushila Varkey and Valerie LaRue at Virginia Poverty Law Center for this week's Public Policy Pointers.
So in the General Assembly, when they want to sort of kill a bill without making it seem like they're being mean to the legislator who carries the bill, they say, motion to lay the bill gently on the table. And today, somebody made that motion, nothing happened, so the legislator said, well, I'll make a motion to lay the bill hard on the table. Which worked!
It worked. Okay, Sushila's dancing now.
So, in the bills that we oppose category, this is not gonna be an expansive list, but two that there's been some progress on, some news to share. HB 69, Delegate Davis, this was a bill that created a shared parenting presumption in child custody and separation agreements and determinations. Obviously, we believe that this would have really significant unintended consequences for parenting survivors who are trying to escape abuse and remove themselves from a household where that's occurring. That bill very much died. Not even on a party line vote. It full on unanimously died in the subcommittee that it was heard by in the House. Again, that's HB 69 if you want to look it up. Thought we'd have to put up a larger fight about that, and thankfully we didn't. And I think that some of that is really the impact of you all talking to your legislators about it during Legislative Advocacy Day. So thank you for that. My associate Charlie here is wanting to chew some stuff, but it's fine. He's nice, okay. So the other big bill that we have been asking folks to oppose, SB 174, this is Senator Peake. You may recall that this was a reciprocal, no contact protective order bill. We see these pop up every few years. These are terrible bills that really would impose restrictive conditions on petitioners in their own protective orders. Chilling effect for victims, really just not a good idea. This bill, sadly, made it out of Senate Judiciary, and one of the ways that it made it out of that committee was the patron, Senator Peake, had a substitute that he offered that really changed the dynamic of that bill, and instead of making it reciprocal no contact orders or provisions that can be placed in a protective order, it really changed it so that there's an affirmative defense when there has been a violation of a protective order, an affirmative offense to the respondent or defendant in that case, to be able to say that, actually the petitioner baited me or reached out to me. Now we know that happens all the time. There's no need for an affirmative defense in code. So we still don't like the bill, and we still think it will have a chilling effect on survivors and really just not be good for judges to have to consider in the code. There is also the consequence of when there is a judge makes a finding that there was a violation of the protective order and the petitioner or victim is guilty in that case, that person can be held in contempt of court. So there's also the serious consequence that a survivor could be jailed as part of a determination that there was a violation of a protective order, not something we want. So this bill made it out of Judiciary, is on its way to Senate Finance. Actually, this week we expect a hearing on this bill. We have alerted Senate Finance members, and you all, I know, have met with Senate Finance members about this bill. We do not expect this to make it out of Senate Finance. We believe that our senators understand the issues that we have with it and are in full opposition to it along with us. But tune in next time to the Session Scoop to hear an update on where that bill went. Hopefully it's not going anywhere. Hopefully it is dying right now. But we will give you an update on what happened there and let you know if there are any action steps that you can take to be more a part of that process.
And now let's cut to Sid for a session self-care tip.
Joining us for another edition of the Session Scoop. Next week, we will be talking more about crossover. Crossover is when bills literally cross over to the opposite chamber. So House bills go to the Senate, Senate bills go to the House. We'll be talking about that and talking about which bills we think are hot or not, and which ones you should be paying attention to. So tune in next week for that. Look forward to seeing you there.